Shit 90 Shows Taught Me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to slay another day? So are we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling, here with my co-host, Sarah Humphrey. Sarah, how are you?
Jess, I'm stuck in the wall. It's okay. I have a mouse tickling my knees, and I made lemonade.
Wow. And
Yeah.
wow. You're so inventive inside the wall. Where'd you
Thank
find
you.
lemons? You have a lemon tree in there?
They just appear, truly.
Oh, beautiful.
I don't know where they come from. They just appear.
We're covering the season finale of season 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Restless, today, season 4, episode 22. And wow, what an episode this was. Gotta say, this may be the most notes I've ever taken on any episode of Buffy. Because this was a lot.
Yeah, I think that's
a lot.
I think that's like a good, if you had to give it 1 or 2 words, actually, a lot is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I watched this episode 3 times. That is 120 minutes of my life that I won't get back.
Yeah.
And that's maybe okay. I don't know. I still like this episode more than the Angel episodes. So I feel
it's a low bar. No?
I know. I feel like we're doing okay. Okay. So like, obviously, first and foremost, like Jessica and I are self-acclaimed dummies. And I feel like some of this stuff might be a little bit over our heads, but I'm going to really try, because I think the fact of the matter is there is a lot of Easter eggs in this episode that maybe in a year's time we will understand some of these references. At this time, I don't know what happened, and I don't know how to explain it, and I'm going to have to speak about this for the next hour 15 minutes, and it's going to be hard because, like, I don't know, this made me feel like I was on like an acid trip. I don't know what the fuck I was watching. I don't know what was happening.
I would say, like, so on my first watch of this episode, I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, this doesn't feel like a finale, which is true. It still doesn't feel like a finale on my second watch, but I did enjoy my second watch more. Though what I would say, just to forewarn people, neither one of us has read any material, listened to anything in terms of like analysis on this episode. We are coming in with only having watched the episode a few times, had some general chat with some of our friends about it. They've not really, pushed us in any particular direction though. And that's kind of where we're at in terms of what we've absorbed from the episode. So anything we say is all just coming from us spitballing around. So if we like miss massive things and metaphors and all this other shit, apologies in advance, because again, like you know who you're listening to, right? Like, and I will just say, like, outright, because I feel like this is maybe influenced by or kind of has this same general vibes of like possibly like a Wes Anderson sort of a thing. That, generally speaking, is not my sort of a thing. Like, I really look to movies for mostly entertainment. Like, some commentary, some like larger themes is fine. But if I am like struggling to understand what is going on through a movie, I'm usually not going to be super pleased with it. So that's like generally where I stand coming into this episode. Obviously, it's a little bit of a different thing, Sarah, because we are coming into a 40-minute episode of television with characters we already know and love, right? Like, it's kind of putting a bell on putting a cap on the end of the season. And it really felt like this episode was like here to hammer home the themes that we were supposed to pick up on throughout the season.
I think like that is my general consensus as well. I think that is like a really good recap of where our characters were either suffering or where their minds were, what took up a lot of space in their minds, especially for Willow, Giles, and Xander. Like, I think that their dreams were like really, really obvious. And And I guess like Buffy's as
I think
well.
all of them were. I feel like by the second viewing, when I wasn't so just like astonished and confused the entire time, I think I was able to pick up on it a little bit. Again, easier than I could a Wes Anderson thing, that's for sure.
I will say, in terms of Wes Anderson, The Royal Tenenbaums is one of my favorite movies ever. But
I didn't get it when I watched it. I really didn't get it.
Tenenbaums?
And I saw Asteroid City in theaters, and I was actively annoyed because I was like, I don't understand what is happening. What is the plot? Where is the plot actually? Where is it?
It's
definitely
definitely a vibes thing.
Which I will say, this being a vibes episode goes along with exactly what we've been saying about season 4, which is season 4 is a vibes season.
Yeah,
so like I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it.
And there were, I mean, the desert scenes were absolutely stunning. Like, especially because it's different from our typical dark and dingy Buffy.
Well, and the sets they must have had to build for this episode were crazy. Like the amount of scenes that are just like one long shot, like Xander is a good example of like he's walking through a tunnel then he's going through this door and then he's in the basement and then he's like, and it's all one long shot. Like it was really incredible in that way.
Well, it was funny because it was like every single set that Buffy ever had, it's like, which set do you want to use? All of them.
Everyone.
We will use every single one. We're back at high school. We're back at like, I don't know.
In the Bronze, in Giles's apartment, in Xander's bedroom. Yeah.
We truly used every single set humanly possible, which the initiative, like literally everything. So yeah, I felt like once again, are we talking about like, you know, last episode, our penultimate episode, it felt to me a little bit elevated in terms of like budget and effects. And I feel like if you this also felt a little bit elevated in terms of like sets. Obviously the concept is really, it's surrealism, it's avant-garde, it's definitely a lot, and I think like it's just a lot to digest. And once again, like I definitely think that there's probably things that we will not understand until we've seen the entire series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And maybe that's okay, but
I think that's how it's supposed to be. I really do. I think they're like setting us up to not fully grasp every single little thing, and that's fine, you know? And the other thing I will say to your point of the penultimate episode feeling very finale-like, feeling very like big budget-wise explosions and big set pieces and all of that stuff. This episode then feels like it's taking a step back where it's like, hey, we know we hit you with a lot of boom pows last episode. So this episode, we're going to take a step back and make you think really, really hard about stuff.
We want you to think really, really, really hard.
It's going to hurt your brain a little bit, but you'll be okay.
Yeah, we want you to put on your thinking caps. And once you have finished thinking, we want you to think about it some more.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, but I don't want to think. Oh, you better think.
I'm tired of thinking, Grandpa.
I'm tired. I don't want to do analysis anymore, Grandpa. I just want to watch the big boom. It's like, no, you will think and you will make a 12-page thesis on the meaning of this. I'm like, no.
Yeah, so we're going to take this episode a little bit differently than we usually do in terms of we're going to kind of cover it by dream sequence because that's really the best way to do it. So it's mostly chronological. And so we kind of pick up where we left off last episode. Riley is going to go meet with the government apparently, because basically he has info that they don't want leaked. And so he thinks he'll be able to get away with like some sort of an dishonorable discharge or something in order, basically in exchange for his silence on not letting everyone know the actual dirty details of what happened in the initiative. Joyce gets to meet Riley for the first time. They have a cutesy little like, oh, it was so nice to meet you. Finally.
Emphasis on finally. Riley's the man that you bring home to mom. Like we talked about this. Like he is, especially since Joyce is like has met previously Buffy's boyfriend of Angel. Like Joyce must be like cumming her pants, being like, what a good find. Thank goodness Buffy brought home a normie.
Yeah. Can I just ask, like, okay, because Buffy Buffy is saying goodbye to Riley, right? And they're like kissing at the door, and they're kissing in front of like everyone. So it's like Giles, it's Willow, it's Joyce. But I know the answer already. I don't know why I'm even gonna bother.
Who the fuck cares?
Okay,
why do you care?
Because I was never, when I was like a teenager, nothing like weirded me out more than like kissing my boyfriend in front of my parents. It's,
why?
Like, so weird.
It's because your family is mean and they would make fun of you.
I don't think they would make fun of me. I just didn't do it.
No, they would make fun of you. That's why you didn't do it, because they're afraid of intimacy. The whole Sterling clan. No, I wouldn't care to make out or to kiss. It was like not like a tongue first, like
no, there wasn't groping or anything.
Huda from Love Island kiss.
She full on licks people in the mouth, and it is disgusting.
It was like maybe like a nice lingering, like passionate kiss, but it wasn't tongue first.
No, it was not tongue first.
It was fine. It was fine.
So the crew is hanging around for a movie night, and it really did crack me up that Joyce is like, I'm gonna go to bed. You kids have fun with your movie night, including Giles, grown adult man.
Including your 45-year-old teacher. You
I
guys have fun.
twice.
Yeah. Have fun. Totally normal. And this is like apparently like the same day as everything
which I'm like,
else.
go to bed, you weirdos. Like, it's been a long day, which they do, I guess, go to bed because they all end up falling asleep watching these movies. It's just the Scooby crew, no Anya, no Tara, just original Scoobies.
Well, they are the Scoobies, but whatever.
Well, OG Scoobies, you know what I mean? We couldn't have seen 2 extra dreams. That's too many. So we first go into Willow's dream. In Willow's dream, we start out in the dorm room. Tara is topless, like laying on her stomach, talking about Miss Kitty Fantastico and saying like, well, she hasn't let us know her name yet. I don't know why, Sarah, but right away, because we have Rat Amy, because Rat Amy is a thing, is canon on the show, I was like, what if Miss Kitty Fantastico is like a person?
Well, okay, so like you and I were both like Harry Potter kids. Like you don't fucking bring home an animal anymore, because next thing you know, they're like a sniveling grosso guy.
It's a real pervy person who's watching me get dressed and shit. Exactly.
Peter Pettigrew, is that his name?
I think so.
That motherfucker was snooping all the time. And who knows what the deal with Crookshanks was, because Crookshanks was not a real cat. He was like a magic cat.
Crookshanks was fucking, there was something fucked going on.
There's something up with that. So you don't bring home an animal. Who knows? I mean, Miss Kitty Fantastico is actually a pretty cute kitten. She's a really cute
for
kitten.
Sure. But I'm just saying, like, she hasn't told us her name. She hasn't let us know her name. Yeah. And then the other thing, this little like lingering thread, Sarah, that we talked about earlier in the season is what's going on with Tara, right? Like, we never really got to the bottom of that. And even here she says, you don't know everything about me. The fuck does that mean, Tara?
Yeah. Tara was very present in this episode, and that's like one thing that I don't know if I totally understand, because she acted like a mouthpiece throughout the entire episode in all 4 dreams in a different way than Anya was present in all 4 dreams. So I mean, like, it definitely felt strange, honestly, but I still am not super suspicious of Tara, but
I think she's like very tapped in, if that makes sense. Like the first Slayer is using her as like a mouthpiece, especially in the Buffy dream. It feels like she knows more than a lot of the other Scoobies, but she's a little more reserved about actually like sharing information. It's almost like she wants them to come to their conclusions on their own, and she's just like throwing some shit out there, you know?
I agree with that. I think that I've said for a while that Tara seems like somebody who is a lot more powerful than she puts off.
Yes.
And she lets Willow take the lead in a lot of things that like I think that she knows how to do. And I think that either is like she's not embarrassed, but maybe afraid of her own power or something, because I just think that I think that she's more powerful than she's letting on. I will say that her and like Willow writing, like she's writing on her back some, I don't know what kind of letters they were, Greek,
They look
Latin.
maybe Greek. I don't know.
Pretty hot. They're pretty hot.
Yeah, she's doing her homework on Tara's back.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about a lot of Willow's dream is centered around people finding out about you, right? Like people finding out who you are. That's what the whole play is about, and revealing who Willow is. This to me felt fairly obvious about like Willow's sexuality, because while her friends know about Tara and about her sexuality, we haven't seen anything or heard anything about her family being aware. And that's also that's a bigger thing, right? It's one thing to come out to your friends. It's another thing to be out completely publicly. And I think Willow is still kind of wrestling with her sexuality a little bit. And so I don't know, Sarah, did you read that any other way? That it felt like pretty obvious, at least.
No, besides the witch stuff. And I think that the show kind of uses Willow being bi or a lesbian in the same breath as being a witch. Like, I think that they use them inseparably and as an innuendo. So I think that was probably where I was leaning. It kind of like hit you over the head with it, of like how obvious it was without them outwardly saying it, which I don't know. I think that just is a lesson about the time that the show is from. I think that it was like,
and they were able to hide it in this, like, because this episode is so strange and like they're never fully saying what they want to say.
Yeah, it was just like a little heavy-handed, but it was fine. Like, I think that once again we're talking about like a recap of the season. I think that Willow discovering this part of herself, and in addition to developing her witch powers, and then being afraid that people that are close to her or in her world, like everybody she knows, as Giles was saying about the play, like everybody you know is in the audience is going to watch you, opening up about those two things, I bet is really intimidating. So it was an interesting way to like recap what her story was this season. But also, like, we've seen a lot of Willow coming into her own this season. I think to the beginning of the season, when she really adjusted really well to school way before Buffy did, college that is. So I think that it was pretty interesting. And I think that we also see her, like, it was interesting seeing her back at high school, because it just like reminds me of the feeling of like, your high school reunion, and how you go into that being like, all these people see me as this version of myself, and I'm so different from that. But if I am in a room with all these people that I knew from high school, am I still that loser? Am I still that brain? Am I still that like dork that like dressed up in the overalls? And I think like that's the other part of Willow's dream that we were exploring, of just like how she's developed so much, especially this year. She's a whole different type of person, but at the end of the day, is she still that loser that would get picked on?
Yeah, because when she's back in high school, right, like she runs into Xander and Oz talking about, because Willow's late for drama class. That's the whole thing. And we know drama is something she's exploring in college. It was not really something she explored in high school. In fact, the one time she did have to put on a performance in high school back in season 1, she had really bad stage fright. And so it's kind of meshing the two together, where she's present in high school, but she's taking a class that she wants to take in college. And so kind of like, how do we reconcile the old Willow with the new Willow, you know, the person that she is now becoming? And the fact that we have like Xander and Oz giggling, oh, they do spells together. Her and Tara do quote unquote spells together. And they're putting on this play, Death of a Salesman. Willow's obviously very thrown off because it's supposed to be her first day of class. This is very typical dream-like stuff as well. Yeah. And everyone's in different like outfits. We have Harmony shows up. She's dressed like, looks like some kind of German girl almost.
Yeah, like Lederhosen.
Yeah.
Milkmaid, something or other.
Milkmaid, yes. Buffy's wearing this black wig. Kind of looked like Liza Minnelli from Cabaret. I don't know if that's what they were going for.
Very Flapper-esque.
Yes.
1920s aesthetic.
Riley shows up as Cowboy Guy, and this cracked me up both times I watched it, where he's like, I got here early, so I get to be Cowboy Guy. And
he's proud and happy to be
It's
Cowboy
so
Guy.
funny.
He is
It's so
honored,
funny.
and this is the role that he wanted, and he manifested it. So I'm happy for Riley that he gets to be Cowboy Guy.
So funny. And so the whole idea is everyone Willow has ever known is in the audience. And like Willow's panicking because she's like, I don't know what I'm even supposed to be doing here. Buffy keeps saying like, oh, you're in costume already. And Willow's like, this is my outfit. I don't know what you're talking about. Tara warns her, oh, the audience wants to, no, I think it's Giles who says that. The audience wants to find you, strip you naked, and eat you. So hide. And this, again, this feels very like, oh, okay, showing my sexuality is very much like being the most vulnerable you can be, aka being stripped naked. It's also going along with the dream, the common nightmare of like being naked in front of a bunch of people, especially at school. I think all of those things are kind of mixing and matching in together. But Giles, as the director, did crack me up, especially when Harmony is trying to bite him and he just keeps going, stop it.
Yeah, he's like, you're being annoying. It's kind of like when your dog is like trying to swipe at you for food, and you're just like, stop it, get out of here. Yeah, Harmony was really, really funny in this scene. And her against Giles was really funny.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And we get this guy who appears in all of their dreams that we haven't listened to any analysis on this episode, so I don't know if there is anything here or if this is just a silly gag, but this cheese guy who shows up in everyone's dreams with like craft singles. I don't know what he's doing here. He made a little space for cheese slices. I don't know what he's doing. I don't really care. All I know is that I love him.
You love him.
I thought this was great because it was so stupidly funny. I love cheese. And there's a lot of cheese in this season. Like between the Riley likes cheese and Buffy likes cheese and what kind of cheese do you like? And then we have cheese board guy who's like, he has like a board, but again, it's just craft singles. Like he literally peeled the plastic off of those a moment ago. You can see when he's like waggling them around. That's not real cheese.
Do you like craft singles?
No, I'm not 8 years old. Like I like actual cheese. Not quote unquote cheese product, you know?
Oh, okay. It's cheese.
Get real cheese, people.
What about just like regular, if you get the cheese slices, like that American cheese from the deli, is that cheese?
All day. That's definitely cheese.
Well, what's the difference between that and craft singles?
Craft singles literally says it's cheese product. Like it's not even like real cheese.
I don't even know if I know what that means.
Exactly. That's the point. No one knows what that means.
Cheese guy. What do I think the cheese guy means? I think that this is like just fuckery. I don't know. I think like I'm like trying like how deep in the weeds can I get with this? I don't know.
I don't know. Cheese is a product of milk which has been churned. Milk is like the lifeblood for babies. I don't know. See, this is why I can't do like Wes Anderson films. Like, I don't understand this. Either way, I love cheese, so I was happy to see him there.
Okay, you know what? Like, okay, so like one of my favorite things is like how there are like common dream things throughout this episode, like Willow showing up to like a final but never had studied, or even the fact that like in the dreams there's people there that shouldn't be there. For example, in a couple of beats, Anya is in the classroom, but Anya wouldn't have been in the classroom because she went
to high school with them.
Damn it. Okay, I lost my thread. Well,
Tara was there in the classroom.
Okay. Like, you know how like sometimes you're having a dream and you're like watching something and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense because that person wasn't there in this moment of my life. Like,
have you ever had it where it's like, you're at like your parents' house, but you're like, but this isn't my parents' house, but it is your parents' house in the dream.
So like, is it just like the cheese guy is just like one of those things that are like, I don't really understand what's happening here, but if you're in my dream, you're just like my cheese guy. Maybe the cheese guy is I got nothing. I don't fucking know.
Here's where I'm going. Because we know, obviously, the first Slayer is also in all their dreams because the first Slayer is like hunting them, right?
Yeah.
Because we'll get into all that later. What if Cheese Guy is another demon and he's like Cheese Demon?
Cheese Demon.
And he's the big bad for a different season. And we just haven't met him yet.
Guaranteed. That's it.
Nailed it.
Guaranteed. Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yep. I think we solved it.
He's the first man that invented cheese. Because honestly, like, how is cheese invented anyway?
You just squished milk around a whole lot until it became cheese.
But like, how did you get there? You know,
someone left it out by accident.
Disgusting.
And then they were like, I'm gonna put this in my mouth.
I wouldn't do that. I don't like.
No, you
mold.
wouldn't do that, but you don't like cheese.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna think about the cheese guy. It doesn't make sense for me, but maybe it's not supposed to make sense. I don't really know.
And he's really a cheese demon because he doesn't even have real cheese. He just has Kraft singles. So it's
that's
like,
true.
oh, yeah.
Now, what are your thoughts on like long red curtains?
Yeah, Willow looked a little lost. Is this supposed to be a metaphor for a vagina?
That's where I'm going with this. And
okay.
Are we is it like that? Are we like that literal? Are we?
I think so. She's literally like lost in a tunnel of red curtains, bumps into Tara, who she's in a romantic entanglement with.
Yeah.
And Willow's all upset. She's like, this is the first class. I don't understand why we're putting the play on. Tara's like, something is following you. And if they find out, they'll punish you. Again, very like, okay, she's gay, people find out, and you know,
blah,
persecution,
blah, blah.
all that. But what we later find out is it's the first Slayer that is following her. It cuts her palm. Buffy is able to kind of drag her out of the curtains, and that's when they end up back in a high school class. I don't know why it cracks me up so much, but Willow saying, I'm very seldom naughty.
Yeah, I liked that.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was good.
And then Buffy again talks about Willow wearing a costume. Like, everybody already knows, take off your costume. And Willow's like, this is just my outfit. And when Buffy rips it off, it's very Willow from high school. She has her long, straight hair, her like corduroy kind of like dress skirt thing. And she's supposed to be like giving some sort of a presentation. Anya's commenting about it's like, oh, it's a Greek tragedy. And Oz and Tara are like, I don't know if they're kissing, but they're very close and like whispering about Willow, basically.
About Willow, like they're talking shit about her. It's very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah. And this is it's leaning into the trope of like being in front of a class, having to give a report that you like haven't prepared for.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's worse for Willow because it's like she thought she left this version of herself back in high school, but she's being basically forced to wear the costume of old Willow.
Ooh, yeah, that's really interesting.
Right?
Man, I really wish she would grow her hair out. I'm not gonna lie. It looks
I love her short hair.
It's disgusting. Her long hair looks so good. I really liked it. But Allison Hannigan, it kind of just reminds me of How I Met Your Mother, how many different hairstyles that she had.
Many.
And they had so many wigs because the fun thing about that show is that they would always jump back and forth in time. So you had to have like, this is Lily as a college student. This is
Give her bangs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I don't know. I liked her long hair. But anyway, I think like I really feel confident that we know what's going on in the Willow dreams.
It's the one I feel most confident about.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel pretty good about it. And the first Slayer, but at this time it's like some primal beast that we don't know what this person is, starts like attacking Willow. And then it looks like she's having some sort of seizure or attack.
Yeah. It almost looked like kind of Dementor-esque of like sucking her soul out. And then we pan out and realize like whatever is happening to her in this dream is affecting her in real life.
Yeah.
And like, I imagine this is probably where we went to commercial break back in the day.
Yeah.
And then we come back in and we've now realized, oh, we're going to be visiting everyone as we go into Xander's dreams.
Yes.
Which I also feel pretty confident about the analysis on.
Being in Xander's dream actually might be my worst nightmare. I feel like for me, it was the most scary, like especially I don't know. I think that I'm like really starting to, I really, really, really want to tap into in season 5 his family life, because I feel
Yes.
as though there's so much to unpack there, and we've seen like different dribs and drabs, and I'm really interested, and seeing how like mean and abusive his dad was towards the end of the dream was like really terrifying for me. It was
Yeah.
actively scary. But
Yeah, we will
you're
get into because we did get some feedback talking about, in particular, one person's like criticism of how uneven the season felt in terms of who got content, and I
Mhm.
would like to like tap into that in a little bit because of what they bring up about Xander specifically. But yeah, he like it's like a dream within a dream kind of, because he like wakes up in the living room with them. They're watching this like war movie. And I love,
Apocalypse Now, I think.
oh, was that what it was? I love Giles being like, it's all about the journey.
Yeah.
And so he has to pee. So Xander gets up and he goes upstairs. Joyce is like in this like red nightie. She's like, hitting on him. And he talks about being instead of like a conquistador or a matador, he's a comfortador. So he's like a comfortable
Mhm.
matador. I
Sure.
guess. I don't
Of
know.
course, yeah. I
And he
kind
like
of
seems
ignored that.
into it though. Like
Yeah.
this is very much like, I mean, I imagine most teen boys have had like dreams about their friends' moms at some point, especially if the moms are like somewhat attractive or young, So this felt on one hand, Sarah, to me, this felt a little bit reductive and backtracking on what I feel has been a lot of progress made on Xander's character, but also he's a teen guy having a dream, so I'm not bent out of shape about it,
Oh, good for you. I'm really proud of you. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised when it comes to season wrap up
Rankings.
next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think like his dream is like just like where he measures up. And I think like even him going to the bathroom and peeing, and it's in front of like a bunch of men who's watching him with his dick out. Like I feel like it's very like metaphorical about like how a guy measures up compared to other guys.
Yeah.
So
And
I
they're
thought,
all in military. Some of the people are in
yeah.
like military garb as
Mhm.
well, which there's a lot of military stuff happening in his dream in particular, but also I think can't be ignored. We also have like the initiative, and there was talk of, oh, is he going to join the army? And then he also has all that prior army experience from the Halloween episode in like season 1 or 2 or something.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that he feels like he needs to do something. Like, I think that he had his gap year, which I do think gap years are either in between high school and college, or college in real life, can be extremely beneficial. And I think that like a lot of people should take that opportunity to do so. But he obviously feels, as we know throughout the season, so much pressure that he's not doing enough or anything at all. And I think like that's really what his dream is about, because he keeps winding up in his room, which is his parents' basement. Like no matter
Right.
like what he does and like how he tries to get out of it, he keeps ending up there. So for me, it's more so like he feels like he's going to get stuck, which
He's
is like
very much trapped. Yeah, like he's
he feels
trapped in
trapped.
the
Yeah.
basement. He feels like he doesn't really have a path forward. And we'll get into the stuff with his dad later, but it even starts here where the door at the top of the stairs is rattling, and he thinks it's a vampire at first, but he does say that's not the way out. So it's almost like, okay, to get out of where I'm stuck, to get out of this rut that I'm stuck in, I have to go through my family. I have to confront my
Yeah.
family and my past and all of that. And he almost is like not ready to or willing to do that.
Well, yeah, it seems like his family is like so abusive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And he ends up at the park where he sees Giles and Spike swinging. Spike
oh
is like
yeah,
also dressed as Giles. Giles here is gonna teach me to be a walker. Says I got the stuff.
Watcher.
Yeah. Spike is like a son to me, is what Giles says.
Mhm.
And the other thing I was just thinking too is swings, while incredibly fun and great for children, you don't go anywhere, right? It's like a treadmill. Like you're going back and forth, back and forth. Like you're never actually moving
Moving
anywhere.
forward. Yeah.
So that maybe that also, if like we're really digging it. Maybe that also was like there. I don't know.
You're
I'm just
digging
going-
it. No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm
Yeah,
laughing
it
at
just,
the
like,
fact
it's, like,
that like
right?
we are working hard here.
My
We
brain
are
hurts.
putting our thinking caps on.
Yeah.
And really, yeah, I think that this is interesting. I think that like if we're looking for possible threads of foreshadowing, is there a world that Spike is going to become a watcher
Or
underneath?
Xander.
Or Xander, because he says like, oh yeah, like I wanted to do that one time, or
Yeah.
something along those lines.
Yeah,
So
he said I was into that for a while, but I have other stuff going on. And that's when he looks at like the ice cream truck, which we know was one of his jobs this
one
season.
of his billions of jobs,
Mhm.
Buffy is in the sand, and I guess like that is connected to the desert that we see later. But aside
Yeah.
from that, I don't know the significance of Buffy being in the sand besides they're in a playground. But
I mean, so Xander says, "Are you sure you want to play there? It's a pretty big sandbox."
Mhm.
And like, I'm only wondering, obviously there's the connection to the desert, which has the Watcher and all those, the first Slayer and everything. But I'm also wondering it's like, are you sure you want to do that by yourself? Because it's a big sandbox. Like, it's a big world, it's a big responsibility.
yeah.
I don't know.
Your English degree is really coming through here.
Is it?
I really think so. I think that you're really cooking today.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I tried. Like, I actively was like trying. My first watch, I let it, wash over me, because that's generally what I try to do with Buffy.
Yeah.
But the second time I was like, okay, even to the point where when she says, "I'm way ahead of you, big brother," I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Does she mean like also in life? Like, I'm ahead of you. And also she just called him brother. So it's like really squashing any thoughts
Wow.
of like romantic feelings.
Wow, your analytical skills are really popping off.
It's one of those things. Your husband does this a lot. You just throw everything at the wall and at
Yeah.
least something is bound
Something
to
is
stick.
going to stick. I take it back. We are not stupid. I am stupid. You are
You're
very
not stupid.
smart.
No,
You're
no.
so
You're the
smart.
one who went to school for film. So
No,
Um,
for like as some like 2 semesters, if
learned a
that.
lot in those 2 semesters.
Barely.
But do you think there's any chance that Xander would ever become a watcher?
Does he have the chops for it? Also, he's not British. So can he even become a
Is he even allowed?
Is he even allowed? Like I felt like
Dual citizenship.
yeah. I
British.
felt like Spike is British, well, fake British, but
Very disappointing when we found that out, by the way.
that was pretty
I
disappointing.
was not happy.
Me too. But I think that I think there's a possibility. I definitely think that I think that he has skills that can be utilized. So it's really like, how does he want to utilize those skills?
A lot of people pointed out to us, because we missed it in the penultimate episode, that when they were doing the spell that ultimately results in this episode, Xander was heart, and each of them kind of represented different aspects of like what they bring to the table for the Scoobies.
Okay, Xander's heart, which is why the demon, no, sorry, the
first Slayer,
stole his heart.
I think so.
Yeah.
So he's the heart, but again, like he's like, okay, I gotta go. He goes into the ice cream truck. He's driving. Anya's like, oh, do you know where you're going? And he's like, again, you see the like stuff moving by on the sides, like he's actively going somewhere. And Anya says that she's been thinking about getting back into vengeance, and gets really mad when Xander doesn't want her to. You don't want me to have a hobby.
Yeah, God forbid a girl has a hobby.
So funny. And then Willow and Tara are in the back of the ice cream truck. Again, Willow's in black, Tara's in white. I don't know. Usually black means bad, white means good. Like in most metaphorical things, that's usually black is like, oh, evil, ooh, goth, whatever. And it's interesting. They're like making out, and they say like, oh, I'm going places. And Willow says, oh, I'm way ahead of you. Again, like, I really think they're hammering home. That Xander feels left behind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So annoying that they're making out, and every single time we're about to see them kiss, they pan away.
Yeah.
Let me see the girls kiss.
Come on.
Let me see it. Let me see them kiss. It's such bullshit.
If you want to see girls kiss, go watch the show The Hunting Wives, because Lot of kissing in that show.
I've never heard of that show in my life.
It just came out. It's not very good. But if you're if you need to second screen a show, that's your show.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of boobs too. You want to see nips
on Love Island?
Nips for days. You're not dumb. Oh, old seasons. Right.
Yeah. I'm still working on that.
So they invite Xander to join them. And Anya says he can go. She's learned to steer by just waving her arms around, which was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
When he goes to crawl back there, though, he again ends up back in his basement, and he's always kind of ending up there. And the door keeps rattling, and he's like, I know what's up there. This is when Cheese Guy comes in. He has his little cheese slices, says they're not going to protect you. Okay, Cheese Guy, whatever.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is a little I'm sorry. Before we get too far away from the ice cream truck, if you can choose your perfect 3-way with yourself and 2 of the characters, who would you be choosing?
Oh, okay. So it's me plus 2 of the characters from Buffy.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. This is Giles. 1,000%.
Sure. Giles is 1.
Definitely.
And then who's number 2?
Gosh, because you want to have the right balance, because Giles feels like he would be very sensual.
Yeah, candles.
Candle guy for sure.
He's the guy that melts the sex candles and then pours them on you.
Okay, yeah, I could see it. He'd serenade you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I think to spice it up a little bit, Faith. I think you go
She's
the 2 opposite
for
ends
you.
of the spectrum.
She's too crazy for you.
But you need a little bit. But then you let
can't
her
handle Faith.
tear up Giles's ass for a second, and you just relax.
You can't handle Faith.
What do you think? Who do you think of the people that we've met so far?
I would third wheel a Ruffy.
That tracks.
Yeah. I would third wheel a Ruffy.
They can throw you around real good. Both of them.
They can.
We've seen it.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
But yeah, so he ends up in the basement. And then he's back in high school, and we see the first Slayer kind of following him. And when he runs into Giles, again, Giles says the others have gone on ahead. Again, he's left behind. Yeah. Then Giles and Anya are speaking French.
Mm-hmm,
I don't know what this means literally at all, besides failure to communicate, failure to understand.
Adam was translating it a little bit. He speaks a little bit of French, and I forget how he translated it, but basically what they were saying was Giles was something about going back to the house. I don't know. And then Anya was like, you have to come this way. I don't know. Something along those lines. They were saying
yeah, they were trying to lead him somewhere.
Yeah.
And then they're hanging him upside down. And then suddenly he's almost, I don't know if he's supposed to be a member of the Initiative or just a member of the Army, but he's in some room kneeling, he's standing or kneeling in front of a superior officer sort of a thing. And freaking Principal Snyder shows up. He's sweating. In my opinion, it felt kind of sauna sort of vibes.
Sweaty guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And he starts asking Xander about were you born in the basement? And Xander's oh, I was supposed to meet Tara and Willow and maybe even Joyce. And Snyder tells Xander that time is running out, and he asks if he's a soldier. And Xander says, I'm a comfortador, whatever. You're neither. You're a whipping boy raised by mongrels and set on a sacrificial stone.
Rough. That is rough. Yeah, just made just very honing in his feelings of inadequacy, being less than, being steps ahead or behind rather. I used to say this a lot when I was in different parts of my life. I always felt like everybody around me got on the train and I missed the train. And I felt that way. I felt that way for a really long time. I felt like everybody was 5 years ahead of me. Even my friends I grew up with that. And I think that's what Xander is feeling. I think that he feels that everybody caught the train and he missed the train and he's way behind in life. The crazy thing is that he's only 22, and this isn't an impossible lesson to learn until you're way removed from it. But he just feels like so behind, but he's really not.
Yeah.
So I think like that's just how he's feeling. I think that I'm very curious about how he's going to change that next season, because I think that we're going to see him evolve next season. It's just
Yeah.
that, like, how are we going to see him evolve?
Yeah, it's especially interesting because there's so much soldier imagery around Xander, and like, I don't know, part of me thinks it's like, oh, part of it has to do with the initiative, because obviously that's a very militant organization. But also, being a soldier usually means, as we saw with Riley, you're taking orders generally, right? Like, you are following instruction. You're not usually the one leading. At least that is like, again, you're just a soldier is very much a like, you are the person taking the orders. You are following direction. You're never the one leading the charge. And I think Xander feels that way a lot, especially in the Scoobies. He's usually never the one making the decisions. He's following Buffy's orders. He's following Willow's lead. He's following Giles's orders. And I think I feel like he really feels that way a lot of the time. And maybe this is just part of that. But he ends up back at Giles's apartment. And this also feels like a common thing for Xander, where he's trying to get their attention, but they're only focused on Willow, who is like still in the fits of like this dream state. But again, how many times has like Xander felt like no one's listening to him, no one's paying attention to him?
Yeah, we got a whole ass episode about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he ends up, he's like looping through. He's in the dorms, then he's in Buffy's dorm, then he's in the closet, then he's in the basement again. And finally, someone comes through the basement door, and it's his dad. And he says, what are you, ashamed of us? Your mother's crying her guts out. The line ends here with us, and you're not going to change that. You haven't got the heart. And this to me, Sarah, was so sad. Like, to have his dad say, this is, in my opinion, what I heard from what he was saying is, this is all you'll ever be.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never be more than this. And basically saying, like, you don't have the heart, you don't have the passion, you don't have what it takes
the drive
to be more than the guy who lives in his parents' basement.
Yeah.
And like literally rips his heart out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and just like the screaming, I'm very, very sensitive to like a authority figure screaming at you, whether that be like a parent or a boss. And like the yelling kind of sent a shiver through my spine. So I felt like this told me was that I think that his father is verbally abusive to him, and it
at a minimum,
exactly. And the mother crying his guts out, I kind of feel like his mom might use her emotions to like manipulate Xander.
I think that could be it. The other thing I was thinking is his father also abusive towards his mom?
But like, then like his father's blaming Xander for his mother's,
look what you're doing to your mom.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not have a happy home life. At the very least, we can confirm that. Well, and like, it's really sad. Like, and it's very rare that we've heard anything about Xander's home life beyond like, he doesn't want to be home much. Like, especially in earlier seasons.
Thanksgiving, he literally can't be in the house during Thanksgiving. He slept in his backyard in a tent.
Yeah, it's like, I liked getting something like this where it's a hint at what is actually happening by being really in your face about it, but because it's a dream, we can kind of like infer, okay, who knows if this exactly has happened or if it is just like a replication of something similar that happened to him. You know,
I will say, like, my best advice for Xander is it is really, really hard to heal in the place that hurts you. So if
get enough money to move the hell out.
If he is feeling stuck and is feeling like, having a really hard time at home, the best thing for Xander to do is get out of there. Because if he's feeling stuck being in the place that makes him feel like he's a child, like he's regressing, that he hasn't grown, like he just has to get out. So maybe that's something that he's going to learn next season. That's my hope
I
for
hope
him.
so. I really hope so, because I agree with you. I think the longer he's in that basement, the worse off he'll be mentally. And it'll be even harder for him to kind of move on and find a good job or something that pays enough for him to get by and move out.
Yeah. It might be really hard. Like, it probably will be really hard, like, financially to be able to sustain, but it's the mental clarity that you get from being in a space that's not abusive to you is perfect. So really interesting stuff for Xander. Like, I'm really hoping that we get to see next season more of his character development. That's kind of like my hope. I don't know if that's in the cards, in the tarot cards. Oh my god, double toil and trouble. Okay. Let's move on to Giles.
Yeah, so Giles's dream, we start off in his apartment, and it feels like we're back in the library in high school when he's doing that like thing to like put Buffy under with a timepiece or crystal or whatever. And he tells her to stop thinking and just let it wash over her. Then we're at some sort of like a carnival or a festival where Giles and his girlfriend Olivia are with Buffy, but she's certainly a child version of Buffy. She's wearing overalls. She has pigtails. She wants to train so badly. They go to like this carnival game where she has to throw balls at a vampire, and he's very strict with her. Like, he's very hard on her. He says, don't stick out your elbow. And she hits the vampire. He says, well, I haven't got any treats. Like, this is really interesting, Sarah. We talked a lot about how Giles is like a surrogate father for Buffy. And we know he feels that way about her, but it was interesting to see it represented in his dream.
Yeah, totally. And I think that also Olivia in this dream was pregnant with presumably his own child.
Oh, she was pregnant? How did I miss that?
I mean, I'm sorry if I missaw or something.
No, you probably are right. I knew she was pushing a stroller, but I thought that was supposed to be like Buffy's stroller.
I mean, you could pull up the scene, because like I don't want to misspeak, and I don't know, but like that's what it looked like to me. So I mean, I think that it was interesting seeing him being in this like family dynamic and also like being a strict watcher, like probably like how he was in the first couple of seasons. But also it's like making him think like, how would I be as a father? And obviously this is something that like he has not had the opportunity to do, like have his own family, have his own children. He sees Buffy as like a surrogate daughter, but so I feel like it was interesting seeing him being like maybe this is something that he's feeling like he's missing in life, is a partner.
I felt like Giles's dream for me was the least obvious or clear as to like the messaging, but what I gathered from it, especially later on when Spike is saying like, oh, you have to make a choice, like you've got to make up your mind, it feels like he's now at a crossroads where he can either continue trying to be Buffy's watcher and really go headfirst into that, or more leave that life behind. And like, maybe he does want to settle down with Olivia. Maybe he does want a family of his own. Maybe he wants to get a job that he doesn't have all season.
Job. Yeah. So that black and white scene where Spike like hired himself as an attraction,
that was really funny, by the way, him doing all the moves and stuff.
So like, I think like that was, we have on one side, like Spike doing Spike shit, and like that represents his watcher career, like focused on a vampire. And then Olivia is crying because, or it looked to me like she was going into labor. So because she was like hunched over, like I think she was grabbing her stomach. So in that moment it was like you had to make a choice, like are you going to choose to like pay attention and give your full focus on Olivia, aka like your family or like a baby, or are you going to put your full focus on Spike, which represents like the vampire watcher life. So, and then spices, you gotta make up your mind, which, like basically to me is like, where do you want to go? Do you want to focus on family, or do you want to focus on your career? So yeah, that's how I interpreted that.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. And it's so interesting. Yeah. Because a lot of Giles's dream is also focused on like solving the issue of like, okay, now both Willow and Xander are like struggling in their own respective dreams, and Giles is like, something is going on, like something is wrong, so he's trying to fix the problem. It's less spent on his inner turmoil. But the other small note from Giles's dream before we get to the bronze, Buffy has this like gray paint on her face, and it later on in Buffy's dream, she's putting it on her face. It is like a mask. Like, is that what we're supposed to see that as?
I really don't know that the goop. I'm not quite sure.
The gray goop, because he says like, I know you, and to me it was like, oh, you see her underneath the mask, you see the true Buffy versus the like Slayer facade, if you will, right? Because especially when you think about like war paint, and the first Slayer has a lot of that kind of stuff on. I don't know, that one threw me for a little bit of a loop. I wasn't quite sure what to
and
make
we didn't see the gray goop in the first two dreams.
I don't think so. I don't think Buffy had any gray goop for the play. I don't think so, but maybe I missed it. So I also I wear the cheese. It does not wear me.
The cheese guy's back.
Great. Yeah, he was there in the black and white stuff.
He was there in Xander's as well.
Oh, he's everywhere. It's great.
He's everywhere.
So then we're at the bronze, and Willow and Xander are trying to figure out what's going on, right? Like, they're doing their research. Xander has this huge chest wound where his heart was pulled out, and Anya's on stage trying to tell a joke about a man walking into an office of a doctor, and he's wearing a duck on his head. And she like doesn't remember the punchline, and then the punchline ends up being that like the duck tells the doctor there's a man attached to my ass, and like everyone claps for her. Poor Anya.
Why? I don't know.
She was doing a stand-up routine. I don't know.
Okay. Good for you, Anya.
Yeah. And Giles then starts singing, and like through his song, we find out what's going on, which is when they did the spell last episode, they released primal evil that is like seeking them out, a warrior beast. And it turns out it's the first Slayer.
Yeah. I did like that Giles was working this out in song. I really think that this actor, Anthony Michael Head, was like, I got a voice and I got to use it. Because now we have like 3 times of him singing.
In one season.
He's very insistent. He's like, I will not go on set unless you give me a musical number.
At least every 5 episodes.
What do you think his end game was? Like, do you think that he was like, I want to get on Broadway, so you're going to let me sing every single episode?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. I did like the song. I thought that it was interesting for him to try to like articulate. I also think that like the gig thing was interesting because it makes me feel like, once again, if I was not a watcher, what could I do in this world? I could have played guitar and
I could have been a singer. Yeah.
I could have had gigs. Like, I think that this also has to do with like choices. Like, does being a watcher make me happy, or does playing music in a pub make me happy?
Yeah. I could totally see that, because he does like, obviously, and it's a weird combo here where he's both singing, but he's also like solving the problem of who is it that's following us. And when he does end up running into the first Slayer backstage while following the microphone cord. And he says, I can cripple you with my thoughts. Of course you underestimate me. You never had a watcher. And the first Slayer starts to like scalp him almost.
Ew. Yeah. Obviously, like, he's the intellect, the brains. So I guess we have to remove that power from.
Yep. And what
from that.
was Willow the spirit? Is that what she was in the spell, I think?
The magic? I don't know.
Because that would make sense. Like, you think spirit when they're like sucking her soul out,
Yes,
right? Like it all kind
magic,
of connects.
powers. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the end of Giles's stream. And the only one left is Buffy. And she wakes up in her dorm room to Anya in Willow's bed saying she has to wake up. And she's like, I need my beauty sleep. And she wakes up in her own home bedroom. And the first Slayer is like hanging from the ceiling. And we get a Faith mention here where she says, Faith and I just made that bed. And she's talking to Tara, who makes an appearance in Buffy's stream.
And then don't they say like for who? And then she just answers, who's the bed for, Jessica?
I don't know. I don't understand what's happening.
I know, but I can't say.
Oh, okay. Maybe did someone say something about a sister? Weren't we talking about someone's sister last time we talked about this with the bed? Maybe Faith has a sister who shows up. Oh, that would be interesting. If Faith has a sister.
If I knew how much.
Oh, Buffy has a long lost sister. Anyway, and Buffy says, "Well, I thought you were here to tell me." And she's like, "Well, you lost the guys." And Buffy's like, "Oh, well, they need me to find them." And Tara hands over like a tarot card that says Manus on it. I don't know what that means.
A tarot card.
A tarot card. And Tara says, you think you know what's to come, who you are. You haven't even begun. And Sarah, you correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of Buffy's stream feels like it revolves around her destiny as a Slayer, but also the fact that she relies on the Scoobies, and yet she also feels very alone in her fate and her destiny as a Slayer.
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, it seems like she finally maybe learned the lesson that she can't do it alone.
Yeah.
So if we get one more storyline of Buffy being like, I can't have you guys here. It's too dangerous for you. I need to do this alone.
I will vomit on the podcast.
We will full vom. Yeah. Again, like, I feel like this is such like a important message to Buffy that Tara is somehow responsible to articulate to her.
Yeah, Tara's super important in Buffy's dream.
Yeah.
And also she warns Buffy, be back before dawn, which is something you would tell a vampire.
I don't know. This is beyond me. This might be something that's like an Easter egg for the future. I'm not quite sure.
What did you make of when Buffy gets back to high school? She can't find the Scoobies anywhere, but Joyce is living in a wall.
Once again, this is full fuckery. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think it means anything.
I think it meant so Joyce is stuck in the wall, right? And Buffy's like, I don't think you should be living there. But then she gets distracted because she thinks she sees Xander like going up the stairs. So Buffy runs away and Joyce is like, well, you could probably break through if you wanted. I feel like it's like Buffy's mind being in 20 different places. And like we already knew remember with the whole Faith thing went down where it was like Buffy wasn't visiting very often and kind of like left her mom behind a little bit. I'm wondering if that's it. Like she's kind of left Joyce in her own little quarantine section of her life.
In the wall. Don't leave your mom in the wall.
Don't leave your mom in the wall, people. It's not good.
Yeah. But she's happy in the wall.
She has a mouse that's playing with her knees. And she learned how to play Mahjong.
You know what? Once again, my number one biggest fear in this life.
Mahjong?
Mice. Mahjong.
Yeah. We go to a government meeting. Riley is meeting with the government. They made him Surgeon General, but he didn't tell her. And they're drawing up plans for world domination. And he's meeting with a human version of Adam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was weird.
Well, okay. So, like, I think that this is, like, Buffy is worried that Riley and her are not going to be on the same place.
They have different ideals in terms of how to deal with
with their goals and where they ultimately want to be
too.
I mean, like, Buffy has her own weapons as well.
She's just not a gun girl. She has like a crossbow. She has stakes. She has
I think like she's afraid that the government or the military is going to like suck him back in. Yeah, that they're going to eventually be on opposite sides or their ideals won't line up. I think that that's like, you know, I think that's something is a cause of concern. Like, what's next for Riley now that he doesn't have this job?
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, because then he gets like sucked in because then a bunch of the demons have escaped. And so Riley and human Adam are going to go make like a pillow fort or something. So he like gets completely sidetracked from Buffy. Buffy offers her own weapons. They don't even hear her. That's when she takes the like gray cement mud mask and like slathers it on her face. Which again, war paint or like trying to be someone you're not. And then Riley says, I thought you were looking for your friends. Okay, killer. If that's the way you want it, I guess you're on your own. Which again, like very much like, oh, Buffy's on her own. And, you know, does she need her friends? Does she not need her friends to do her Slayer job? That whole thing. And then we get like the desert scene where she's trying to find the Scoobies still. And she runs into who? But Tara, yet again, who is the mouthpiece for the first Slayer.
Yeah. Very strange. Yeah. And she's wearing like an I Dream a Genie outfit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't really, I guess if I had to, okay, so Tara is powerful. She probably is a person that's pretty spiritual and lives in like a like multiple realms at the same time. And she's probably the most easily like the easiest person to tap into. Yes. So I guess that is why they would use Tara as a mouthpiece, because like I think that she probably lives on different planes because she's so spiritual or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. And she's also like, we can't use Willow. Like Willow is already being used as, you know, in her own dreams and stuff. And Tara does seem like someone who's kind of tapped into this realm. And so she says like, you're asking the wrong questions. I have no speech, no name. I live in the action of death, the blood cry, the penetrating wound. I am destruction, absolute alone. And this is the first Slayer saying all of these things. And Buffy counteracts that. She says, I'm not alone. I walk, I talk, I shop, I sneeze. I don't sleep on a bed of bones. Give me back my friends. And basically the Slayer and Buffy are having an argument of like the Slayer saying more of the Kendra line of thinking of like, it's just you, and Faith even, right? Like it's just you, you're on your own. You have to fight this battle alone. And Buffy doesn't want to. She says, where are my friends? And I'm not alone. And they fight. This is where we get like the combat scene, which I thought was like pretty fun. It's like in the desert. It's very like primal. And I don't know, I enjoyed it.
It was fine.
Yeah, it's kicky punchy, you know.
It's fine. Yeah.
We get Cheese Guy again.
Yeah.
And this is what leads Buffy to being like, I'm waking up. Like that's enough.
Yeah, exactly. And like I've definitely been there in a dream where I'm like, okay, like that's enough. Like it's time.
Yeah.
I know that I'm dreaming. It's time to wake myself up. And we see Buffy awake, but the first Slayer actually does come into the living room and they continue the fighting. She starts stabbing her, but like it goes nowhere. And she's just like,
because she's in a dream.
Yeah. Are you done now? I'm just going to ignore you. You're going to go away. And she goes to go on the couch. She's about to talk to her about her hair care routine. And she wakes up and everybody wakes up.
Yeah. And they kind of sum it up for us, which is basically when they invoked her power, the first Slayer's power, it was an affront to the source. And so she was hunting them down. And I love the mention of the guy with cheese, and they all just kind of look at each other like, oh, you saw him too? Yeah. It was interesting because then Buffy passes by her own bedroom and she hears the quote from Tara again. You think you know what's to come, what you are, you haven't even begun. And one of our listeners, Mars Bars, had described this episode as an epilogue of the season. And I really liked that as like a way to describe this episode because it's not really a finale. It's like after the finale. The finale was last week. This was like, we're going to put a button on this season. We're going to hit home all the themes we've been thinking about. And not only that, but set us up for some like character growth in the future. Like this is what each character is still grappling with, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of like setting up for what's to come.
Yeah.
So all in all, like I do think that it was an interesting episode. Like I I know that it's like, some people's favorite, one of their top 5 favorite episodes. For me, like, I feel like it was just like a lot. It was a lot. And
Yeah.
I mean, it was thought provoking. I don't know if it was like one of my favorite episodes of all time from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I don't know. Like, I think that you had to be a little like artsy fartsy to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I definitely enjoyed it more after I watched it a second time, and I was really able to kind of dig into some of the themes and the messaging and stuff. But it was a little much at times for me. But I liked it, but I wouldn't put it up there as like one of my favorite episodes of all time. Definitely not. But again, I'm not. I like that the show. What I'll say. I like the show that is willing to do these sorts of things. Like, it is willing to like buck a trend and be like, we don't care. We did our finale last week. We're going to do something fun and interesting and different. I always like a show that is bold and is willing to take a risk. So, I can appreciate it for that.
Yeah. And it kind of makes me think of, I feel like this season took a couple of like more artsy episodes. I'm
Like
thinking
Hush.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that if you like Hush, then you'll probably like this episode as well, and vice versa. I think it's very like specific. And I wonder if these 2 episodes are unique to season 4. And that would be really interesting if that was the case.
I have a feeling we'll probably get some more like creative episodes, because I feel like Joss Whedon would probably be like, wants to try more. Like, he wants to try different things. So maybe he's allowed like a certain number per season or something of like, okay, you have one you could do. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun episode. It was just different.
I think that you have to be in the mood to watch the episode,
Yes.
And like, you don't know what we're getting into when we're going into these episodes. And I just feel like it was like, a little jarring. Like, I don't know what's happening, but I have to catch up real quick.
Yes. And then as for Cordy's Corner, the Angel episode, the finale to Shanshu in LA. I mean, whatever, I didn't care about this season of Angel. I'll say, like, I just didn't care. And I think the most exciting thing about this episode is literally where we leave things with Darla showing up. Like, basically, in case you didn't watch and you're curious as to what the hell's going on in Angel, Wolfram and Hart have decided they're going to bring an evil spirit forward. They need to steal back the scroll that is the prophecy of Angel, essentially. Meanwhile, Wesley does a real shit job at translating it, and he thinks Angel's about to die, but realistically, not. It's pretty much the exact opposite, where if Angel does good things, he'll become human. He'll get to live again.
Yeah. You know what would have been great? If Angel just kept the ring, and then he would have had all the powers of a human and all the powers of a vampire.
But he's a dumb fuck, and he destroyed it because he's an idiot.
Like, you know what? We could have skipped this whole thing if only we kept the ring.
And at the same time, this demon thing that they brought, poor Cordelia, he touches her, basically making it so that she's only having visions 24/7. And so she has to go to the hospital. She's like dying.
The migraines are fierce and hard.
Yeah.
And they will not
consistent.
Stop.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Oh, and the powers that be are dead because that other thing killed them.
Man, I liked the powers that be. Why do we have to end the powers that be?
The Tin Men knew what was up, but they're dead now.
We can't get anything good in this world.
We can't have good things.
No.
But no matter the fact that Angel was able to stop Lindsay, the guy that works for Wolfram and Hart, he was able to stop him when he was doing the summoning thing by chopping off his hand and stealing the scroll back. Because if he destroyed the scroll, it also would have hurt Cordelia because they wouldn't have had the solution or something like that.
Blah, blah, blah.
Who cares? The point is, Darla is back, baby.
Was this exciting for you? Because like when I knew
Yeah.
somebody was in the box, I was just hoping it was going to be Delulu. And when I saw it was Darla, I was like, meh. But also Darla was in the in the previews, so I should have known.
You should have known, yeah, because she was in the preview. See, I thought we were gonna, because I saw her in the preview, I thought we were gonna get more Angel flashback, because that's in my thought, that was the only way we would get more Darla, right? Because she's dead in real life, in the present day.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I would love to have Darla be a very fun character in season 2 of Angel. I don't have a ton of hope for it. I have a little bit of a hope for it, mostly because everyone we've talked to has said this is the worst season of Angel and that it only goes up from here.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing, but I'm very unimpressed by what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, same. Wesley almost dies too. Big explosion.
Oh yeah, big boom.
Big boom.
Yeah,
big boom on
bros
Angel.
love
Bro-y
big
show.
boom. Yeah.
Bros do love booms. That's the thing. And this is a bro-y show.
Boo. Yeah, it's
booms and boobs.
It's not for me. It's for the bros, and
it's for the bros.
It's for the bros. But Angel's bestie does make an appearance as well. Angel once again is like, "Dear bestie Gunn, will you come outside?"
Oh, I thought you meant Kate. Okay.
No, who cares about Kate?
Kate fucking sucks, and I never need to see her.
No,
again.
I'm talking about Gunn.
Yeah, he has to watch over Wesley and Cordelia because they're both in the hospital.
I love that Angel is like, please come out and play basketball with me.
Yeah.
Please. I just want to hang out with you. And Gunn's like, ew, you're a vampire. Gross.
I'm going to kill all of your kind, but also find your
He's like, you have cooties. And Angel's like, no, but please be my BFF. Mm-hmm. I promise I could be human soon. We can go. Let's go get tea together. And Gunn's like, no.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's pretty much all that happened on Angel. So I guess next season we're going to be focusing on how do we get Angel to be a human again, and what's up with Darla.
That's a season. I don't know how many seasons there are of Angel. Hopefully one.
The thing is, no, there's not. We're going to eventually have to address the fact that there are 5 seasons of Angel, and that means there is one more season of Angel than there are seasons of Buffy if we're covering them simultaneously. But that's a future problem for us, not a now problem.
I mean, okay, so if there's 5, that seems like a season 5 solution. This is not a season 2 solution.
No. Oh, the coming back to life thing? Certainly not. No. This is a prophecy. Prophecies don't get solved until way later in the series.
Oh my God. Wait. Okay. So then like Angel becomes a human and then goes to Buffy and is like, guess what? I'm a human now.
Let's fuck.
We can hang out now. Yeah. Oh man.
That's definitely going to happen. Anyway, that's what happened in Cordy's corner. Let's get into some feedback because we do have quite a bit to get through.
Oh boy.
Okay. So first thing, friend of the podcast, Tom Palmer wrote in and said, Adam honestly does work for me as the big bad of season 4. Even though he isn't super interesting as a character, he ties in well into the metaphors and themes of the season, and the enjoining spell used to defeat him is really cool.
It is
low on my big bad rankings because he wouldn't work in any other seasons, whereas Angelus or the mayor could always be compelling, but I do think complaints about Adam and the initiative from season 4 haters are a bit overblown.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that too. I don't think Adam was as bad as people said he was going to be.
No, not at all.
Mars Spars wrote in about Angel and said, congratulations for making it through the worst season of Angel. I know it's been rough and you may not be fully invested in the show, but next week is the episode that I think snaps everything into place. I think the revelation in the finale could really grab your interest and have you excited for season 2. In my opinion, the first half of season 2 is one of the best parts of the whole series. I can't wait to see what you think.
Cool.
So, we got something coming for Angel. We also got an email from Chris. I'm only 2 glasses of wine in as I write this.
Beautiful.
You ladies liked my wine-soaked email previously and just want to say, Jess and Sarah, love you ladies. 3 exclamation points.
Love you.
Gosh.
Love you, Drunko.
This was a trippy episode. Who was your favorite of all the familiar faces? All the familiar face. Like, who was the favorite, like, recurring person? Because Cheese Guy.
For me was Harmony. I really liked Harmony in the...
Oh, yeah. Stop it.
Stop it. Yeah.
It's really good.
I mean, it was cool to see Principal Schneider back. That was pretty neat. It was cool to see Adam in his human form. Like, I wasn't expecting that.
I liked Anya driving, like, did crack me up. The arms waving around was very funny.
Yeah.
Still don't understand Cheese Man. Which of the writers this season was so freaking obsessed with cheese?
Somebody was like really getting their mission or their whole thing across. They said, we are pro cheese, we are a pro cheese show, and we are going to articulate that with our full chest.
Yeah. Chris ends his email also wondering what you both think about Adam as a real boy. Are we into that? Personally, I was like, I will so join you in that pillow fort, and you can show me what a demon machine you are. Naughty.
Okay, he can join. Okay, fine. Then Adam and Ruffy. No, not Ruffy. Just Riley. And me.
That's your threesome. Okay.
Sure. I mean, he was pretty hot, but also, yeah. I mean, he doesn't even know his real name.
No,
his name wasn't even
Adam.
Real boy. He's a real boy.
He's a real boy. So thank you so much for your email.
Have you ever made out in a pillow fort?
No.
You're really missing out in life.
Oh, okay. We also got an email from Julie. I'm so happy you guys love this season. Personally, I believe no season of Buffy is a bad season of TV. However, whilst I adore the first half of the season, I usually skip the second half. Unfortunately, my main issue with season 4 is Riley. While every other season is centered around Buffy's growth, season 4 is centered around Riley's. The entire initiative storyline is there to challenge Riley's black and white worldview. Buffy is simply the catalyst to Riley's story arc. Other characters like Xander, the only season where he doesn't get his own centric episode, Giles, who remained unemployed and stagnant, Spike and Anya don't get any significant storylines of their own because all that screen time went to Riley. So opinion on this season really comes down to whether you liked Riley. Unfortunately for me, he just isn't interesting enough to carry the main plot line. I totally see where Julia's coming from here.
Yeah, this is a sensitive topic in our house. Right?
I see where she's coming from in that you're right. We didn't get a ton, especially I think Giles, because Xander was at least more palatable for me this season. So I was happy about that. And he has the Anya stuff, which I really liked. But Giles, I feel like, is really left in the lurch this season. He really doesn't have a ton to do. And so I totally understand that of like, they gave a lot of the storylines to Riley. And if you don't jive with Riley, of course, that's going to be annoying for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I definitely think that we invited a boy to the girls' slumber party, and at times it's like, what are you doing here? Like, why are we focusing on the boy, right? Because like once you bring that dynamic in, it totally changes. And I know that this show is for women and men, but it's
for anyone. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
no, I know exactly what you mean. It's what we were saying when we had Hannah on about like he's been giving main character treatment. Yeah, and it's like he has not earned that.
Yeah. But I really do like Riley, especially like I'm interested in his storyline. I still think that he's adorable. I totally understand that he might be a little like boring at times, but I think like that's a really good point. Like if you don't like Riley, I think that can make this season a little hard to digest. He's not dead, so I'm assuming he's coming back next
We'll
season.
see. We'll have to make some predictions on that next podcast.
Yeah.
Julie continues, on my first watch, I was convinced of the robot Riley theory. I was super disappointed he wasn't. Maybe that's where some of my bitterness stems from. Would have explained his 1950s Stepford boyfriend personality and been an interesting parallel to Joyce's robot boyfriend from season 2.
Interesting.
From what I've read, the male writers, including Joss, loved Riley. And I think that's the issue. They got so wrapped up with him, they sidelined the other characters. Riley is the exact type of macho man men think all girls swoon over. However, that didn't translate for most of the fan base, excluding Sarah, of course, the way the writers expected. Or maybe Riley has a certain American charm that I, as a non-American, just don't understand. Shrug emoji.
Yeah, that could be true. This is the funniest thing in the world because like my type is not a Riley. Right? Maybe it. What?
I think I think there's a difference for everyone, not just you, in what you think your type is. Like what you would say, like to put it in Love Island terms, like your type on paper.
Yeah.
I think is one thing. And then I think the person that you actually want to be with and like are attracted to and want to not just like, it's kind of like a ding, marry, kill situation where it's like your type on paper is the person you want to fuck. The person you want to marry is probably a little different than that and more complex because we're not just, two-dimensional creatures. So I think like your type on paper is Riley. Like he's muscly. He looks like he could wield an axe, like
that is the thing. I do think that he can wield an axe. If he was brunette with a little bit of facial hair, I do think it would be all over.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's lacking the facial hair you like, and usually you do go for more of a darker look, but not always. But yeah, but
that's true because I did like Dawson more than Pacey.
Yeah, you go for a blonde on TV.
I do, and then every single time I'm like, I don't even like blondes. I don't know why I find this person attractive, but then I choose the blonde every single time.
Yeah, you always like blondes. Yeah.
Wow.
Whereas I am like an anti-blonde person. I will never choose a blonde man.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So I think he's your type on paper, but do I think he's your realistic, like in person, want to actually date this person kind of guy? No, I don't. Mm-hmm. Having said all this, I completely agree that the lightheartedness and fun of season 4 is needed. Season 4 fits perfectly in the middle of the series as a respite to balance out the seriousness of other seasons. And if this season was entirely demon roommates, Hush and Something Blue, I wouldn't be complaining about character growth. I'm honestly happy that Buffy had a chill season and instead it was Riley going through the existential crisis. Also, props to Sara for single-handedly making Ruffy a thing. Julie.
Hey,
look at you.
Yeah, I love Ruffy. I really do. I think that
Ruffy stan.
I think he's right for her, but we don't always, as people, go for the person that might be right for you. Sometimes
the truth.
You go into those toxic relationships because they're more spicy. And I understand. I understand that might be what people just have to do sometimes. So this is obviously not Endgame, but it would be right for Buffy. She should just be with Ruffy, with Riley. It's so much better for them.
We also got a voicemail from Michael, so let's hear what he had to say.
Hey, Jess and Sara, it's Michael out in San Francisco. Thank you so much for completely changing how I think about season 4. It became one of my favorites through listening to you guys discover it, so I've come around. I just wanted to say how much I love Restless and how different this is from what a lesser show would do, where I think the writers were able to realize, hey, we just don't really have enough compelling stuff to do with Adam here for another episode. So they totally recalibrate, and we get this really cool, interesting coda that sets up some interesting lore and some things for future seasons. Now you can be the judge of whether they deliver on everything that was sort of set up here. But I think a lot of interesting stuff. The table is set for some cool stuff. So I will work Michael's favorite, best of all time, gold medal award-winning Angel episodes for season 2, aka the ones that have Buffy characters in them. And last thing, I'm going to leave you with a spoiler for future seasons. I know that this isn't allowed, but let's just keep it between ourselves. If you thought that you had seen the last of Giles' magic gourd, you are wrong, my friend. All right. I cannot wait to join you all in season 5. Again, just astounding podcasting. Keep up the great work. Talk to you soon.
We get more magic gourd.
Wow. I'm very excited for the gourd. This is
incredible.
That's gourd news.
Wow. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Sorry.
Incredible. Well, that's all the feedback we have. So thank you everyone who sent in feedback. We really and truly appreciate it. It is really fun getting to hear your opinions on everything going on. So reminder, next week we're going to be back talking about all of season 4. We're going to wrap things up We're going to do some character rankings, do some season rankings. I mean, we all know where season 4 is going to be for both of us. So that will be really fun. And hey, if you disagree, if you feel so strongly that seasons 1, 2, or 3 are better than 4, write in your defense of those seasons, because I want to hear it. And then, as a reminder, we will take a week off in between seasons, and then we will return the following week to start season 5 of Buffy, which is, whoo, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it that we are already at season 5, Sarah. Seriously. How did we get here?
I don't know. It zoomed on by.
Yeah.
It's really incredible, really.
Sarah, do you want me to tease you with the titles of Buffy and Angel for the premieres, or do you want me to save that till next podcast?
You can tell me now.
Okay. The season 5 premiere of Buffy is titled Buffy versus Dracula. I don't like that title. I gotta be honest. I don't know how I feel about it.
The actual Dracula. Big bad is just Dracula. Big bad is Count Dracula. 1, 2, I kill you, Buffy. Ho, ho, ho. Is that something? Was that something?
I loved it. So I don't care if it was something. And Angel is Judgment.
Okay, that
right.
That sounds like an Angel episode.
I was
just
gonna say it does. Yeah,
you know
whatever.
What? Bros love judgment.
Bros do love to judge. Whatever. Who cares? That's next week's problem, or 2 weeks from now's problem, 3 weeks from now's problem. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Anyway, that is our season 4 coverage. We're gonna come back next week. We're gonna wrap everything up, put a little bow on this fabulous season of television, and then we'll be off to the races for season 5. Anything else you want to tell the folks about at home,
No,
Sarah?
but
No,
thank
me
you.
neither. Okay, well, we'll be back next week with our season 4 wrap up. Until then, everyone, here endeth the lesson.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.